Hi Lego fans! I think it's time to check off an item from my bucket list. Yes, we're in Billund, Denmark. It's been a while since I put out a new video and this one is going to be different. Rumours of my early death or incarceration due to crimes against humour are grossly exaggerated. I came out to Denmark for Pokemon Go Fest and I've got to say the Lego group did an absolutely magnificent job of sponsoring it. Of course I did cross another item off the bucket list by visiting Legoland Billund, but today is the big day and we are visiting the Lego house. Billund is a cute little town, but apart from the Lego house and Legoland, there isn't much to do here. My hotel, the Refborg, is about a 3.5 minute walk from here. In fact, I know that because I timed it. Similarly, the home of Lego founder Ole Kirk Christiansen is just there, and you can't go inside unless you've got a special tour ticket. What you will see is me geeking out over the Lego history collection, taking lunch prepared by the minifigures at Mini Chef, checking out all the fabulous Lego creations inside, and I'll be building some stuff and playing with the interactive exhibits, because adults can too. The building's design is absolutely fabulous and incorporates some nice play features. Let's see if we can do this without breaking my leg again. Oh. Does anybody remember Cubert? This is exactly what Cubert looked like. Finally, I should mention that I'm here with Rhys, so if you hear a strange giggle in the background or see a crazy guy on camera, that's my son. Shall we step inside? So we just got into the Lego house and most of the kids are heading straight upstairs, following the tree of discovery or imagination or whatever it is. I came straight downstairs because what I want to see is the history of Lego. I want to see the old stuff, really cool. And what is really cool, if I spin this around, look at the staircase, it's like the Ministry of Magic. And this place definitely is magic, so let's head in and first of all, check this out. We've got the brick molds that they usually smash and stash in the foundations of the new factories. So those are actual, that is legit Lego molding, injection molding metal things, which is really cool. Let's do what we want to do. We want to get into the Lego history collection. Really nice mosaic here of Lego, and let's see if we can get some details on that. Oh yeah, all tiny Lego pieces. That is really nice. Even the wheels. So the whole history section is laid out chronologically, and yeah, the Lego story is not one story, it is many stories. Well, let's dig into that. So this is Ole Kirk Christiansen. This place is a stone's throw from his house, which is part of the tiny town of Billund, and it is tiny, there's not a lot here. It's definitely not a party town. You can see some of the artifacts here from his original factory. Now this is what I really came to see, and we did find a shop in Copenhagen with some of these old Lego toys, but nowhere near this standard, and they were expensive. You were talking a couple of $1,000s to acquire anything. These are the original 1930s wooden toys that Lego set out making before he invented the or found the injection molding process for the connected bricks. And look at these old toys. We're coming up to something very cool, very iconic, and definitely an inspiration for the gift shop later. Check that out, the original wooden duck. That is an icon. That is so cool. We've got some more of the original wooden toys. These ones are from the 1940s. Yeah, you can see the little Lego stickers on them. That's really what helps them hold their value. And a whole range of wooden toys they were making. And look at these, they're getting more and more advanced. Love that one, Teddy Bill. And then I'm pretty sure I saw one of those dogs in a shop in Copenhagen and so nearly bought it, but it didn't have the Lego sticker on, and I would have dropped $1,200 on that. That's just nuts. More stuff here, all of the wooden toys. In coat hangers. They're making everything out of wood at this stage. Got the fire engines, and then some more of the animals. That's a perfect example, that cat there with the Lego sticker on. Now I forgot to mention, there was a fire at the factory. in 1942, which wiped out a lot of his designs. And that's, I think, partly why he started moving towards plastic. So speaking of plastic, it started out with the automatic binding blocks back in the late 1940s. And this is presumably the machine that made them. Very, very different to what they use today. And speaking of these blocks, here are some of these early plastic bricks. And these look nothing like the current Lego system. These do look a lot more like it. But see how they're hollow underneath, and that will lead to a significant patent later. What have we got down here? Yeah, he's also making Lego plastic toys at this stage, but the bricks, that's the thing that really made things take off. So at this stage in the 40s, Lego was still making wooden things, as well as kind of like practical stuff. I see a pencil box down there. I used to have something just like that. And then still got the wooden toys. These are so epic. Actually, I love that dog. It looks like the Fisher-Price Snoopy toy, where you pull it and the legs move. A little bit of glare off the case there, but yeah, I didn't know Lego made one of those. So in those early days, Lego was still making other things out of plastic. These are plastic tractors, and the mould that produced these was 3 times the price of buying an actual Massey Ferguson tractor. That is just insane. But you can see why they broke the moulds and put them underneath the new factories as the company grew, because they just didn't want anybody getting their hands on these very significant money-making assets. Another significant development in the evolution of Lego here, the Lego brick sets were renamed from automatic binding bricks, which were the first ones, to Lego Mursten. I don't know what the difference is here, whether that was just a name change. I don't think he had yet patented the design for the interlocking mechanism. Even as late as the 1950s, Lego was still making wooden trains. Not many of those companies still around. We've got wooden cars with the plastic animals in the back. That's interesting. And then wooden fire appliances. And look at that one there, that's in absolute mint condition. It's insane. And then we come really to the kind of evolution of the Lego we know today. This is Lego System, very, very early. You can see we used to have big system boxes which incorporated bricks, but also tiny little things like these bicycles, the trees, everything to go in your Lego city. And then the cars. I saw a bunch of these in the shop in Copenhagen, and they were insanely expensive, these little die-cast cars. Now what we have here are the moulds for some of these toys, and I guess the original wooden designs, because they would have to design them much bigger and then miniaturize them before turning them into injection moulds. Now this is looking more like some of the Lego I remember. I definitely have some of these in my collection. It is now the Lego system, so everything works together. And look at the windows with the clutch mechanism on the bottom. I've got a bunch of these at home. But then we get into, like, you are literally buying buildings for your Lego city. And there's the original box. But this is how it was designed to be used. Some of the bigger sets would be the town plan, and you can see the cars, the little cyclists, and all of the trees in there. It is a beautiful, beautiful thing. You can see here the introduction of the cylinders inside the bricks, which gives everything its clutch, and that's why bricks from the 1950s, this was actually patented in 1961, but some of these very early bricks still work with the latest sets. Again, some more old Lego system sets. I did see these cylinders in an antique shop back in Copenhagen, but it was closed, otherwise I'd be very poor today. So in 1961, Lego invented the wheel for Lego System, which meant that they didn't have to have those die-cast cars anymore. And these are beautiful examples. I do have a bunch of these older wheels. I actually tried to take a bunch of them in a bag through security at Heathrow once, and they thought it was a bag of shrapnel. I got taken aside and questioned about it, but it was all very funny in the end. But you can see how they used to sell these wheels and even doors as add-ons for your Lego collection. Here we have a bunch of bricks which the wheels push into. They have metal pins, hence the security interest at Heathrow. And then we have these rubber tyres. I still have an absolute ton of these in my collection. Here we have what I think is the first Lego electric train, probably running on the 12-volt system. It uses the old blue rails, but then introduces a central rail which passes electricity to the cars. This is just super nice. I would love to have one of these in my collection. I love these old Lego system boxes. They are so retro, so cool. And I do have a bunch of those with various parts. I have quite a lot of these, which are the small boxes, which are the add-on pieces, but not those ones. We can't talk about Lego without mentioning Duplo, and here are some very old Duplo blocks. These were introduced in 1961 for the younger builder, and you can see one there, or a selection of them in an original box. So let's talk about Lego Technica and the evolutions of that. These gears were introduced in around 1970, and I actually do have several of these at home. I've managed to pick them up while I've been in Europe. Really nice, these gear sets. I have actually unboxed one of the Samsonite ones on my channel. If I remember, I'll put a link to it on screen now. Now we get to some of the first Lego figures. These are often referred to as the family sets. There's a couple of policemen, you've got police on a bike. I do have that set at home, but then I've not seen this before. That is pretty cool. That's a larger scale police bike, and I think it says Harley Davidson on it. Here we've got some of the Lego family sets. I do collect these whenever I can. I've got quite a few of these, and they've got the taller people, as you can see, they're brick built, but then they've got the moulded heads and hands which can clutch at studs. And then we've got some of the vintage vehicles that they made. I actually have the Rolls Royce. It's very nice, but a pain to put together. 1971 is when Technic was born, and this example here of the helicopter with some mechanisms was actually released in 1977. Now we come to some absolute classics. You've got to remember the Galaxy Explorer. Is that the right name? Yeah, Galaxy Explorer. I think it had a different name in Europe and the USA, but this will need no introduction. The original yellow castle, that is an absolute classic. If you can find one of those in a box, then you've got something worth some money there. And then we've got the Duplo sets for the first time here, by the looks of it, with figures. Speaking of figures, we have some of the original minifigures. So I actually remember this one well, the little fire engine car, or little fire chief's car. I think this was one of my earliest Lego sets that I got. Very fond memories of that. And I do have a couple now, one which I think was the original and one which I've acquired since, but it's interesting, the little minifigures used to have stickers. They were never printed at this stage. Now if I pan down here, you can actually see some of the prototype minifigures and what Lego tried before they stumbled upon the right form. These were actually out for quite a long time. They've got bodies with no arms, or just a semblance of arms, but then you've got the minifigure head and hair. These ones were brick built. Yeah, lots of different varieties here, and I'm not sure what this is, but you can see the bigger prototypes as they figured out how things would work before scaling them down. Lego duck number 1, anybody? I think that's the first brick with the eye printed on, maybe? They actually have a giant size one of these on campus at Lego that I spotted on the way past. In 1980, Lego Education was born. You can see here we've got all kinds of educational bricks, and that is something that's still going today. Lego still makes educational sets and also braille bricks for the sight impaired. But who doesn't love a bit of Fabuland? This is one of my favourite themes. I have collected a bunch of the figures over the years. I don't really have any sets, but this is much more aimed at the younger builder, and that's a lot of nostalgia there. Again, a set that the older Lego fans won't need an introduction to. This is one of the grey Lego castles. This is certainly bigger than the one I had, but it's very, very familiar. Love all the minifigures there with the plumes. Those plumes can get quite expensive. Then we have the short-lived monorail series. Lego didn't make a lot of these. And I'm very fortunate to own this one. It's a light and sound monorail system, and I believe while Lego made most of the components, the tracks themselves were outsourced to a third party. They're quite difficult to come across and also quite expensive. Staying with the 1980s, we've got the Legoland Pirates. This is a very cool set. Really like that flag, although the clips tend to break on those, so they tend to be expensive to replace. I have another one of these models, very, very similar to this. It's a very nice part of the collection. And then we've got even more Lego Castle down there. Now here's a theme that I really like. I do like collecting some of the obscure themes. This is Lego Paradisa. I've got one of these in my collection. Love the windows there with the curves. These look a lot better than mine, which are a bit more scratched up. That's very cool. And then we've got the fire station and the police. I actually saw the local fire station in Billund, and I was surprised it wasn't red and didn't have a tower or a helicopter. For the fans of the big box games, we have several, I guess these would be PC games, including a very early Lego Friends. That is very neat. And then down here, Lego Scala. I just acquired some of these, and I think I've just picked up that dog in Copenhagen. I love this theme. It's so cool, but so creepy. As we get into the 1990s, which seems like 10 years ago, Lego really started to struggle with the emergence of video games and new technology. As you've seen with the video games up here, they started to get into that segment, but really started to fail. They invested a lot of money, and in particular, they invested a lot of money in this line, the Galador range, which isn't named here. I think that's one of Lego's biggest embarrassments. I love this. I have almost all of them mint in box, except for some of the very rare ones. I keep meaning to do a review on these. It may happen one day. Now, we can't mention Girl Lego without talking about Belleville. Definitely one of the precursors to the Lego Friends. And you can see here we have not minifigures, but I forget what we call these. They're definitely more doll-like, not mini dolls as we have today, but I do like these. Again, Belleville, it's a theme I do have in my collection. Here we have the first evolution of Mindstorms, a theme which I think is still going today. I did tinker with this for a while, but yeah, the apps tend to get superseded and then things stop working. But it is cool technology. Cost Lego a fortune to develop it. So how did Lego get back to the fortunes that they have today? Well, I think a big part of that is licensing, and here we can see some of the first Lego Star Wars sets. Huge theme, huge following among fans, and some very, very valuable sets and minifigures among them. Another licensed theme that's made a lot of money for Lego is Harry Potter, of course, my favourite theme. I think I do now own every Harry Potter set. I do have all of these. Interesting that they've not put the rubber band around the top of Hagrid's hut, which is kind of a paper thing. I probably have that as a review on my channel. Really nice to see those. That is an epic piece of Star Wars Lego. I love all of the chrome on this model. I would love one of those. I mean, just check out those chromed plates. Those are epic. Another theme that was hugely impactful in Lego's turnaround financially was Bionicle. It's still hugely followed today, and I know in the latest series of minifigures, I think it's 29, there is a Bionicle cosplayer, which all the scalpers are going around grabbing and storing those away. Also from the Belleville theme, we have these sets based on Hans Christian Andersen's stories and fairy tales. Really love that creepy witch down there. I did keep meaning to try and find one of these. And then look at that, we've got some Jack Stone. These figures are different to normal minifigures. They are larger, more articulated for smaller hands. I don't think this did too well. So this is Lego Sports, and this is a collab with the NBA. Obviously very popular basketball in America and in other countries also, but for the first time here we're seeing minifigures with different skin tones. You can see we've got all kinds of different ethnicities reflected in these basketball players. Here we can see some of the evolution of Bionicle. Some really cool sets. And then we have the NXT Mindstorms. I did have that, and I think I still do have that. Definitely recognise that big brick there. Moving down, we have an explosion in the product ranges. These are Lego games. I always found them quite lame, but I do have a few of these, including the Harry Potter one, which I have to have for completionism. In 2008, Lego launched the Architecture series. As you can see, the White House there before recent modernisations. And then we really start to get into some more modern stuff. This is 2010 and up, so we're talking the last 15, 16 years. Some really nice sets there. I recognise that tree house. I see Shima for the first time. Interesting, these are big buildable figures. I know they eventually moved into minifigures not so long after. Got some of the first Batman sets, if I can get it in focus. And then finally, I spent a lot of money on this for my daughter and we still have them all. This is Lego Friends. Speaking of Lego Friends, here are some of the prototypes for some of the animals and character sheets for the mini dolls. This is a product line with lots and lots of sets. I have more of these than I care to name. Getting quite modern now, we have the Lego movie sets. I love that movie. Definitely have this one. This is Bad Cop's Pursuit, I think. And then we've got the Unikitty. Yeah, we've got a lot of this stuff at home. Minecraft, which is still going very strong. Really nice sets. And then some of the more recent Mindstorms. This is the EV3. We've got Lego Ideas here. It's a shame that they don't really mention Lego Kuzo because we do go back a little bit earlier than these. I definitely have all of these. I used to collect them all. Now I'm kind of a little bit more picky because there's just so many of them. The ship in the bottle is epic. And then Wally, I'm wondering whether Wally's got his neck fixed. Because this set did have a problem with the neck drooping, and Lego issued a parts set, which I've never used. My Wally still has the droopy neck. We spoke about Lego Education earlier and the Braille bricks, and actually here they are. I have been meaning to get some of these for my collection because they are quite unusual. You can see the stud patterns are configured to help children learn Braille, which is really neat. And then we're pretty much at the end of the history collection, but you can see here Lego Botanicals, a huge success, and it really is an investment to try and get adult fans, female adult fans of Lego, hooked into the hobby. My wife loves these, and I was looking up jobs on the Lego Billund website last night, and they are actually looking for a head of this theme to expand it. This is definitely going to be a growth area for the Lego group. Now this room absolutely blows my mind. It is full of historic Lego sets, including some newer stuff. And just look at all of this stuff. We're going to go around and pick out some of the sets that really appeal to me. So 1958 to 1971, got a bunch of constructed sets here on the left, and then all of the sets in the box on the right. Obviously Lego's just picked out certain ones, but you can see some of those smaller boxes. Those are really cool. I picked up a bunch of those while I was living in Europe. I know from the accent you think I'm British. I am. I do live in America, but some really cool things, including, look at that big town plan box. I do have one of those in a wooden box, which is an epic thing. I think it's one of the oldest things in my collection. Love it. Moving on to 1972 through 71, you can see the introduction of Technic, as well as a bunch of other themes, including the Lego family. I do have a big soft spot for those. Love the train. This was when we started to see some of the vehicles coming out. These were brick built, and now you can see the Rolls Royce. That's a really neat set, but really difficult to put together because the instructions at this stage are like playing Spot the Difference. I do have one of those. I do have the box for it, which I'm really pleased with. Speaking of difficult to build and to film, because I've got some glare here, check out the USS Constellation up on the top there. We've reached 1978 to 1979. I do have one of those at home. I gave up trying to build it. My son built it. It was insanely difficult. And again, it's because the instructions at this time are just like playing Spot the Difference. And what I do like, we've got a yellow castle, and check that out. They've got one in the box, although it's quite faded. And then, yeah, some classic Lego space. Love that theme, I grew up on that. I grew up also on these tiny little Lego boxes. You know, that used to be my treat when we go into the city on a Saturday and we'd need to spend some money to validate parking. So I used to get a little set like this. In fact, I definitely had that one. Strong memories of watching Doctor Who and building that. These are beautiful, beautiful things. In fact, that is, let's just make sure I've got this in camera. See the little police car there? That's the police chief, and I believe that was the earliest released minifigure. More memories for me as we reached 1980 through 1984. I had the Lego chassis car up on top there. I still have it. It still needs a little bit of work. Lego Castle, I had a bunch of that stuff. Lego Space, another favourite theme. And then, of course, all of the city sets. But check that out. I do remember getting that Lego chassis in the box for Christmas. I used to have the snack bar. I do still have that, sadly not in box anymore, otherwise it would be worth a fortune. But some super nice sets here. Now we come to 1984 to 1988. Again, my very early days of collecting Lego. Some really nice stuff in here. Particularly like the Lego space station over there. And what else did I spot? Just little things like the introduction of light and sound. And again, more of these tiny little box sets. I definitely had that little ice cream stand. 1988 to 1991. Again, some really nice sets in here, including the boat at the bottom. I can't remember the name of that boat, but I did manage to acquire one of those. Got some more light and sound system, and I think we saw this earlier, the Lego Fort. 1992 through 1995, these gaps are starting to get a little bit smaller as Lego really ramps up production, and this includes some really, really nice. Oh, is that Magisto? Yeah, I got one of those. That's super cool. We got the castles, and then I spotted a few themes which I really do like, just for their novelty. We've got the Belleville set there, Paradisa. There you can see the cafe. I can't remember the name of the cafe, but that's beautiful. And then some more of these Lego system castle sets. There's Magisto. And again, some obscure themes in here, which I love. Let's see what we can pick out. Oh, look at that. We've got Fort Legorado. I know that's a huge favourite among the adult fans of Lego. Is that Adventurers or no, is it Pharaoh's Curse? Then we've got Scala. Love it. That Fort Legorado in the box. We've got the Scala doll there. I just love collecting the obscure girl Lego sets. I don't know why. Belleville, and then the Lego Western theme. 2000 to 2003 is when my favourite series came out. I definitely recognise some of these sets. Of course, Lego Harry Potter. You've got the Privet Drive set with the Flying Ford Anglia, and then the big first edition Hogwarts Castle, which actually, it's not down here, but you do see some of the early Hogwarts sets. There's Dumbledore's office. We can always take a closer look at that from my collection. 2003 to 2005. Got another Lego. In fact, that's not a Lego Fort. That's Lego Vikings. That is beautiful. And then we've got the Orient Expeditions theme. I do see that set on display down here. I love the elephant. I bet those elephants are a fortune now. We see the Vikings starting to emerge, got the Lego Sports, and then some early Lego Star Wars. 2006 and 2007, these gaps are getting very narrow now, and you can see we've got a lot of Star Wars product in here. The introduction of Mindstorms up there, and Lego City really coming into its own. They must have like thousands of them now. That is really neat. That is the motorised walking AT-AT. I always want to say AT-AT, but I get yelled at when I say that. It is an all-terrain armoured tank. 2008 to 2009, again a small gap here. Loads of Lego Pirates coming out in this year. Loads of Lego City. I think by this stage I was definitely buying Lego for my kids, and you might see one of them in this video. We've got the Power Miners, still in a bunch of this, Indiana Jones. These are all just epic sets. On to 2009, 2010, and hopefully I haven't missed any years here. Really pleased to see the Escape from the Burrow set. In fact, it's the Burrow. I love this. Huge fan of the Weasley family. I've met the twins, and I've also met Ginny or Bonnie Wright a couple of times. That is very nice. I do have one of those mint in box, as well as a couple of spares and one on display. Huge collector of the Harry Potter stuff. As we move on to 2011 to 2014, slightly bigger period here. We go with the Night Bus, mint in box. What else can we see in here? Got the Ninjago sets. Oh, I like that, the Temple. We definitely had that, but I fear it ended up in the parts box. Some Hobbit sets. And then the EV3 version of the Mindstorms mint in box. 2015 to 17, probably the peak of my collecting. I see BB-8 hiding away there. You've got the big Porsche GT RS4, we own that. We've got the Destiny's Bounty, that's on display in my bedroom back in the US. In fact, there it is. Mine is extremely dusty, but that is a nice example. And then moving on, getting really up to date now, we've got the 2018 to 2019 with the Bugatti Veyron. In fact, no, it's a Chiron. I correct myself. I've still never built that. I think I opened the box and never got around to building it. Of course, I'm going to focus on the Harry Potter. Then we have one of the generations of the Hogwarts Castle. There it is, Hogwarts Great Hall, mint in box. I'm pretty sure I've got one of those as a backup. And then again, the big cars. I don't have that one. That is the Lamborghini. Is that the Huron? I can't remember the name of it. I'm sure you'll tell me in the comments. Little Yoda there. Not Yoda, Grogu. But yeah, this is very recent stuff. And then we get to the last case. Another big car up there. This is, they've not updated it since 2022. I don't know where they're going to put this stuff. But you can see the re-release of the Galaxy Explorer. Really nice Ferrari. This is very neat. Here we have a big showcase of Lego trains through the years. I'm not going to focus on any of these individually, but as you can see, they have a very fine representation of the product line. And then the final case for this Lego history section, we've got a fine selection of Technics, including, this is in my lockup, slightly disassembled, the bucket wheel excavator. It's a very cool set, but where the hell do you put something like that? Yeah, first world problems. Some of the early stuff here. Oh, look at the early Technics chassis car. Oh man. All right, so back out of the history basement. And again, you can see these Ministry of Magic style tiles on the stairs. It is just architectural masterpiece. But actually what I must point out is you see the tiles start very dark at the bottom, Ministry of Magic-esque. And then as you go up the staircase, they become bright and colourful. Back out into the atrium and you can see the Mini Chef restaurant over there. We are going to be taking lunch there a little later. And here, needs no introduction, we find the Tree of, is it Tree of Life or Tree of Discovery? I can't remember. This is really neat in the, what they call the Lego Square, which is the entry point of Lego House. They've got an injection moulding machine, and here they are actually producing Lego bricks. And as part of your entry fee, you can grab yourself a set of Lego bricks. So it would be absolutely criminal not to go away with one of these. It's a little bit difficult to see with all this glass in front of it, but this is the injection moulding machine. And you can see the hopper, I guess, with the, you can see the red plastic in there. I'd like to give you the name of the plastic, but I can't remember how to say it. It's ABS, it's like something like acrylonitrile butane styrofoam. It's not that, trust me. Here we have the actual injection mould where they're forming the bricks. I don't know if I can actually zoom in on that, but Let's see. It's really difficult to see on the screen on my camera. But then you can see where the bricks are coming out the other end. And there's some random Lego dude trying to fix the machine that puts them into bags. So now let's head upstairs and check out the tree of whatever it is. Oh wow, look at the base here, it's just full of Lego greenery. Yeah, this thing's immense. Really like some of the things I'm seeing on the tree. We've got the Lego duck carved into the bark. And then you've got, is that Kjeld? Kjeld Christiansen, one of the family. See, these branches are huge. Lego cockerel carved into the trunk. Tractor, you've got just historic Lego sets here. Now you can see the branches. I wouldn't be surprised if they could easily support somebody's weight. And then you can look down upon the branches to check out the little party that's going on down there. More Lego sets. Oh, I recognise some of these. Hell yeah, Ninjago City. Even more Ninjago. Over there we've got a miniature representation of the Yellow Castle. I think what we're about to see is some Lego Friends. I wonder how they dust all this stuff. Or unless like me, they just don't bother. And then we've got some Lego Pirates. And then we reach the top of the tree, which has a crane on it because never stop building. Now we're coming to, oh, so speaking of dusting, maybe that's how they do it. See that guy there? We've got the dinosaurs. This place is amazing. So what's really neat about these dinosaurs is that they all use slightly different formats of Lego brick. So this is completely constructed from Duplo. And then over in the centre, what looks like a T-Rex who's being dusted. This is all standard Lego system. You see down there, there's a baby dinosaur. That's exceptional. So if we're going from Duplo to Lego system, where do you think we're going next? Well, of course, there's only one place we can go, and that's Technic. Here we have a very futuristic looking Technic Lego robot, dinosaur. Actually, it could be a robot. That's absolutely insane. This is a magnificent space. Loads of natural lighting, and around the edge, cabinets with magnificent Lego builds. The ingenuity in some of this art is absolutely insane. Just look at that. And then check out this peacock. I'm not going to show you everything here because you've got to come and experience it for yourself, but this is just mind-blowing. Godzilla there with all his spikes. An albino iguana, I guess. And then we've got a jellyfish with all of the pipes. Check out that Lego dress. Actually, worn by somebody. I know it can't be comfortable, it's got to itch like crazy. That's very cool, and it comes with its own headpiece. It's fisherman on the back of a, I guess you call it a narwhal? Cottage. Sherlock Holmes and Watson. And then some kind of futuristic city covered in weird space birds, I guess. Huge scale Lord of the Rings. We've got a Lego keyboard. And then guitars. We've got guitars and bass. Actually looks like you can play these. Might explain why we've got the speaker just there. I wonder if they sometimes get them out of the cabinet and play them. Okay, so probably not playable. There are no real pickups, but still very effectively done. Check out the toothpaste and toenail clippers. I like the fact that we've got little Lego visors in clear for the toenail clippings. And then if you check out the toothpaste, it's actually a ghost. So the Lego house is broken out into zones, and this is the green zone. Some really cool large scale models down there. A little bit like the ones at Legoland, but more, yeah, more advanced. And I think over there you're being encouraged to go build stuff. So this setup has a day and night lighting cycle. Currently night, and in a second I'm sure it'll flick back to day. Oh, the poor kid's having to go to school at night. See the little dude on the swing? The girl keeps moving forward and giving him a push. There we go. Whee! Where you seen that?
Under the bridge.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, that's the eagle flying under the bridge. That definitely comes with the Tower of Orthanc, I think. The original one. Not the new one. We don't have the new stuff. Just the original best. And yes, we have not lost the ball. Oh, here we can see the lights changing. Cows grazing on the hillside. There's even a subterranean world, which looks... oh, they are, yeah, they're aliens. So you've got the mine, and then beneath that, the aliens waiting to come up and take over Earth. Definitely recognise that TP, that's from a set. See, we've got the Native Americans. We won't call them Indians, they are Native Americans. And then, got this kind of carved out, there's a cave in the side of the hill. With a pterodactyl, because why not?
Harry Potter's in there.
Oh, you're right. Is that Hermione? Oi, Harry, what are you doing in there? Oh, there's Ron. And that's got to be Hermione. Maybe Hermione? Right at the top we've got a ski slope. And I think you probably can't see it, Darth Vader's going skiing. But then tucked away on the icy slope. She just needs to let it go. Very impressed to see on the side of this snowy mountain, there's a wampa outside of his cave. Down here we've got the yellow submarine and the beetles running down to it. Here we've got an interesting mix of different themes. As you can see, the mountain here is made of Duplo. So all this side is Duplo, but then it seamlessly blends. Actually, it doesn't blend, they're not stuck together, but you can see on this side, they're all Lego system. Another of my favourite themes woven into this. See the entrance to Fabuland. Notable things you might see here in terms of Easter eggs. Looks like the Bluey family have showed up to the beach. What else have we got? Who's that? Oh, it's Nightmare Before Christmas. Jack Skellington. The lighting just changed to night, and as you can see, all of the fairground rides are lit up. Dodgems, you've got the Star Tower. Looks like the one at Tivoli Park. Again, you can see Fabuland called out. There's a big port area here. I'm sure Lego products travel through a lot of ports, so it's very important to them. A couple of shout outs here. We've got the One Piece pirate ship, relatively new theme, and a set very dear to our hearts, Metal Beard Sea Cow. Here we go.
They got the YMCA.
Where's that?
In front of the...
Oh, yeah. This zoom's not good enough. You can see in front of the store with the guitar, you've got the YMCA, the village people performing. And of course, the English pub, very dear to my heart. There's so much detail, I could stand and watch this all day. Check out this stadium. Loads of Lego people in the stands, but look at the players. Astronauts versus aliens. In fact, you can see them on the outside of the building. And of course, a huge train station with working train. I've noticed a kind of disappointing selection of collectible minifigures from over the years, from 2010 to 2025, so a few missing here. I have literally, in fact, there's 2 minifigures I'm missing. I'm missing one of the latest series, which I'm definitely going to find here at the Lego house, and I'm missing a genuine Mr. Gold. Yeah, I need my diamond play button before I can get one of those. Now in this case, they're showing off the constructive process or the design process for mini dolls, but also, very dear to my heart, the design process for Diobito, the morbidly obese cat. This place is just absolutely full of places to play and create. Here you can see you've just got massive boxes full of minifigure parts. Kids are going nuts. And then you've got these giant guys on top. So this is the blue zone for cognitive building skills. And you've got loads of Lego here to play with. We even have a little tantrum zone for the tiny builders. Let's see how the creation does. Okay. Ready? Hey! That was awesome. I think that might be the last journey for this car. Oh, what do we think the chances are of this making it through the fiery hoop of death? I think it's doubtful. Say when. Go on then. Oh, it fell apart. Absolutely tons of Duplo bricks for the little builders. And me. Rhys made a creation. What is it? A telescope. Completely with illegal build techniques. Show me. Oh, hang on. There we go. Yes, it's an abomination. Anyway, what's the most evil thing you can do when you see 100,000 2x4 yellow bricks? Getting hungry, so must be time for lunch at the mini chef. Join me. Back to the brick machine. It seems things have escalated. It now takes 3 Lego engineers to fix the machine that puts bricks into a bag. So we're at the mini chef and there are plenty of red bricks to play with and an interesting ordering experience which involves selecting your food with Lego bricks. So let's see how this works. Okay, so before we order food we have to order beverages, so let's see what options we've got. I'm really thirsty, so I might even get 2. Oh, and quite a selection of beverages. I like that. So let's do this. Let's get... I've no idea how much this stuff is. So we want a Pepsi Max, medium. Get one of those. I'm thirsty. Do you know what you want?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna get that, and because I'm an adult, I can never turn down the opportunity for a beer, especially in Denmark. I'm going to add the hazy IPA. That's 2. You want to order yours?
The red brick refresh.
All right. 4 drinks. I'm very thirsty. It's been a busy morning.
Not drunk anything.
A human will bring you your beverages. I'm not sure I like this. We don't do humans anymore. Everything must be robots. Okay, so this is a whole process. Basically, they come out and give you a menu. Hopefully we'll get the drinks in a minute. And this has all the instructions. Now, the food's going to get prepared by Robert and Roberta. Oh, no, they deliver the food. The minifigures make the food, although I've not seen them yet. So what you have to do, they give you a pack of bricks, like that, different colours, because the minifigures don't recognise writing, so we need to give them colours. So what we're going to do, we are going to build our menu. You pick 1 item from each. So you've got different colours for different sections and then different shapes for different foods. Let's have a look. I'm probably going to do the only vegetarian option, sadly, which is chili sin carne. Sounds good. And then for energy, you've got a choice of, you can have French fries, ravioli, organic mini spring rolls. They sound great. Potatoes or 3-in-1 celery. Yeah, I think we'll give that a miss. And then the sidekick, you can have taco pinto de gallo, French garlic bread, and then they've got salad, and more salad, fruit salad. So I'm going to go ahead and choose these, and then we'll build our menu. I got a fairly normal Pepsi Max and an IPA, and then Rhys ordered all the sugar in the world. So what did you get? You want to explain?
A rhubarb juice and a red brick drink.
Show me the red brick drink. That is wrong. That should not exist. I should also mention they have a comprehensive allergy sheet, which tells you whether stuff has celery, egg, etc. Doesn't cover vegetarian, but the main menu does. The way we order is to use this, which fits into this machine here. That sends the order to the minifigures in the kitchen, and we're going to stack the bricks, put them on here, and then feed them into the slot in the machine. So here's what I'm going to go with. The little red brick at the top is the chili sin carne. The blue brick is organic mini spring rolls. Then the little black brick here, moving around, that is a taco with pinto de gallo. And then finally, I'm going with the Asian salad bowl. So right, fusion of flavours. I can confirm that the Pepsi Max tastes like Pepsi Max and not Coke Zero. That's just fine. And always a bit hit and miss the IPAs in Denmark, but this smells pretty legit. Oh yeah, I could drink another 4 of those. That's good.
Oh, it's ready.
Looks like the food might be ready. Now watch the animation. Uh-oh.
Blue lids.
Oh, I don't put that much salt in it. Alright, I might have to go find some food.
Blue lids, I believe.
Your food is ready, go pick it up by the robots. You don't have to ask me twice. You want to come over and grab yours? So these are the robots. So ours is coming down in the blue lids. I'm not sure how hygienic these are, but I'm sure the Lego group have thought of that. And then we got the robots. Oh, somebody else's order first. All right, the other robot's giving us ours. Come on, robot, we're hungry. Ooh. Each order does come with an order sticker, so you do know what you ordered. That's what I ordered. Did I choose wisely? Let's find out. Oh, here we go. That's a lot of colour. Okay, so we've got the taco there in the top left, the chili sin carne with, some chilies, that looks good, spring rolls because that goes with Mexican, and then an edamame Asian salad. And Rhys went for, what did you get? Oh, the tomato salad. He's got the same chili sin carne. Oh no, that's the tomato salad. That's got gremolata and
Put the wrong brick on.
mozzarella.
Oops.
What did you get?
A charcuterie board.
Oh no, charcuterie board. Not good for a vegetarian. That's not going to help. Okay, so we've ordered a human helper to come and sort this out. I'm sure they will give him something that isn't meat to eat. Yeah, as I expected, the staff are super nice, and they are going to bring out a replacement, so you don't have to eat the meat. So within 2 minutes, they brought out a taco to replace the charcuterie. They're not going to take that away, but that's okay. But yeah, they're super nice, and the serving container is a lot better in that one. So the verdict on Mini Chef, pretty good. Food was good. Not very hot, but the flavours were good, especially the spicy noodles that came with the spring rolls. Chili sin carne was good. Again, nice, spicy. Drinks great. Now the question is, how much did this cost us? I dread to think. All right, come on, Lego accountants, give me the bad news. Let's have a look. Ready to pay. Ready to pay. Payment when ready. Please pay at the Mini Chef exit. You're going to tell me how much? Oh, bye-bye. Bye-bye. So here's the answer. It was 508 Danish kroner. So good lunch, a little bit pricey, about 80 US dollars, 506 Danish kroner. And that might be after I took off the deposit I paid. Walking out here, we have one of the full-sized, that's a Mercedes-Benz Formula One race car. I presume this is one they've actually used. I know they wheeled these out onto racetracks before, and you can see everything's pretty much Lego. I'm sure it's steel framed, except for the tyres, because, you know, Lego isn't very good at going round. They also have on display the 3 trophies that were handed to the drivers at the British Grand Prix. These are very, very impressive. Lots of gold, lots of chrome. Very, very nice. I'm pleased to report that the Lego dudes have finally got the bagging machine working. It looks like they've had to get quite a few parts out to make it happen. So in this zone you can build a character on a white plate, get it scanned, and have it join the party. So the way this works is you get one of these plates, you build a character on it, and you add an emotion. So I made a dancing poop. There we go. Ah, that's better. That's more like the vision I had. He's crazy. Love it. Very good, Lego. Oh, look, Benny's come to join him. Epic. And they have a massive wall with all of the creations. I'm sure they'll take down the ones that are further down. I keep seeing Lego people coming along and removing stuff. But, Poop Guy, where are you? There he is. He should live on the wall for at least a couple of hours. We've got another little build area here. Here we can build flowers, like the Lego botanical stuff, just more basic elements. There are some, as always, very interesting creations. And here's my creation. It's terrible, but it'll do. Stick to Harry Potter Lego. So that was the Lego house. We stayed here all day from 10 AM in the morning till 5 o'clock at night, and I dropped about $1,000 in the Lego store while we were here. Thankfully I bought an extra case, so not going to be a problem on the plane back to the USA, which is a 4,000 mile or so flight. I've got to get back to Copenhagen now to get that flight, so thanks for checking in, and I'll see you again soon.